What if the heaviest burdens we carry aren't the mistakes we made, but the words we never spoke? Imagine a world where a simple "I love you" or "I'm sorry" could change everything, yet remained locked away. This story delves into the agonizing echo of unspoken words and the profound regret that can follow. It happened on a quiet Sunday morning, the kind where sunlight filters lazily through the curtains and the world feels half asleep. I remember standing in the doorway of my parents' living room, coffee mug in hand, watching my father read the newspaper. He looked peaceful that morning, his glasses sliding down the bridge of his nose, a faint hum of a jazz tune spilling from the radio. I had come home for the weekend after months of avoiding the visit. We'd had a fight, one of those sharp, stubborn disagreements that start small and grow into something ugly. Words had been said that shouldn't have been. But worse, words that needed to be said never were. That morning, I wanted to say them. I wanted to say I'm sorry. It sat at the edge of my tongue, pulsing with urgency. But then he looked up from his paper and gave me that quiet, reserved nod, the kind that meant, "We're fine," without ever saying it aloud. So I said nothing. Instead, I asked, "Do you want me to grab you another cup of coffee?" He smiled slightly. "No, I'm good, son." And that was it. That was our final conversation. Later that day, he went out for a walk. The weather was perfect, clear skies, cool breeze. I remember hearing the door close behind him, the faint click echoing through the hallway. I thought about running after him, about saying the words that had been clawing at my throat for weeks. But pride or maybe fear kept me still. He never came back. A heart attack, they said. Quick, painless. When my mother called, her voice trembled on the edge of disbelief. I drove home in silence, my hands gripping the steering wheel until my knuckles turned white. All I could think about was that last moment, the quiet hum of the radio, the newspaper, his small, knowing smile. I replayed it over and over, each time wishing I had said it. "I'm sorry, Dad," but I hadn't. The days that followed blurred together. Condolences, phone calls, the smell of Lily, and the muted conversations of people who didn't know what to say. I moved through it all like a ghost, mechanical and numb. But at night, when the house grew still, the silence screamed. I could hear the echo of those unspoken words bouncing around my mind, louder than anything I had ever said. I'd close my eyes and see him there, sitting in that same chair, his coffee growing cold as he read the morning paper. Sometimes I imagined what would have happened if I'd just walked up and spoken. Maybe he would have smiled, put the paper down, said, "It's okay, son." Maybe he'd have reached out, patted my shoulder, and we would have sat in quiet understanding. Or maybe nothing would have changed. But at least the words wouldn't still be buried inside me. Regret, I've learned, doesn't always come from doing the wrong thing. It often comes from doing nothing at all. At first, I tried to bury the guilt under busyness. I threw myself into work, took on extra hours, avoided conversations about my father. I told myself that time would dull the sting. But time doesn't heal words left unsaid, it amplifies them. Every small reminder, his favorite song, the smell of his cologne, the sight of an old photograph, would open the wound again. I began to see how often silence had shaped my life, not just with my father, but with everyone I cared about. I hadn't told my mother I loved her in years. I'd let friendships fade because saying "I miss you" felt too vulnerable. I'd stayed quiet in moments that mattered because I was afraid of discomfort. It hit me then, I hadn't just failed to speak to my father. I had failed to speak my truth in so many ways. The echo of that silence lived in me, an invisible weight that followed me everywhere. A year later, I visited his grave for the first time alone. The air was crisp, the grass damp from a morning rain. I stood there for a long time, tracing the letters of his name carved into stone. And then, finally, the words came. "I'm sorry, Dad." My voice cracked. "I should have said it when you were here. I thought we'd have more time." The tears came quietly, not a flood, but a steady stream that carried with them years of unspoken emotion. I told him everything I had wanted to say, the regret, the love, the gratitude I had never voiced. When I finished, the air felt lighter, not healed, not fixed, but acknowledged. And maybe that's the beginning of peace, not rewriting the past, but finally giving voice to what was left unsaid. Since that day, I've tried to live differently. When I think something kind, I say it. When I feel love, I express it. When I need to apologize, I don't wait for the perfect moment. Because there is no perfect moment, only the one you have right now. I've realized that unspoken words don't disappear. They linger in the spaces between people, shaping relationships in silence. They build walls where bridges could have been. So I started calling my mother more often. I tell her I love her even when it feels awkward. I reach out to old friends, say thank you to mentors, express appreciation to colleagues. Small words, maybe, but powerful ones. Because once you've lived with the echo of silence, you understand that words are more than sound, they're connection, healing, and legacy. Sometimes when I'm driving with the radio on, a jazz tune will play, and for a moment I can almost hear him humming along. I imagine him sitting there, the morning paper in his lap, glancing up at me with that familiar half-smile. And though I'll always wish I had said those words sooner, I've learned something deeper. Regret can be a teacher if you let it. It reminds us to speak, to say I love you, I'm sorry, thank you, while we still can. Because silence may seem safe, but it's the loudest regret you'll ever carry.